What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I know I've been posting pretty much every day for the last 4 days. And what's going on, guys? It's Austin. My goal of the channel is to help you grow your pressure washing business, service business, doesn't matter what it is. And I have absolutely positively nothing to sell you. You already know what it is. But welcome back. And I know in my previous video, I had discussed coming on here and kind of discussing I guess my story, but kind of like what led me to where I'm at now, I guess, into pressure washing, kind of where I got to where I'm at in my life, and so a lot of you guys commented on my last video saying, yeah, you'd like to hear about it and you'd like to know a little bit more. So happy to bring that up with you. And this video is sponsored by Bella. Yeah. Honestly, this dog right here I got 3 years ago in a really rut of my life, and I couldn't recommend any more than I'm recommending now the importance of having a companion, having a friend with you. Because I was 3 years ago, I was in a really bad place. And so Bella was really there for me, coming home and having someone just to, cuddle up with in bed and stuff on the couch, give a lot of love, Anyway, guys, enough with that. Feeling some kind of way right now. Anyway, so I'm from California. I moved here when I was about 5 years old. Obviously went through the public school systems and whatnot. Bullied a lot when I was in middle school. By the time I switched to a private middle school and went through high school, got a lot more formidable, hit puberty and whatnot. Still very much an introvert. All I really cared about, even though I was an introvert, was girls and basketball, pretty much. Basketball was like my whole life. All I did was play basketball. Didn't have too many friends. I knew I liked, I wanted to talk to as many girls as I can, even though I didn't know how to talk to girls, right? And I guess growing up in high school, at least when I was going through high school, and I know a lot of y'all going through high school, whenever y'all were in school, the big thing was, hey, you got to go to school, get good grades, because you need to do this thing called college, and college is going to fix and resolve all the problems in your life, right? I already knew going through high school that, I'm already having an issue going through school. I couldn't even get through my grades. I actually had to drop out my junior year, because I just told my mom, I was having 50s and 60s in most of my grades, including the electives. I literally could not do school. And it wasn't because, I guess I haven't figured out exactly why I couldn't do school. My brain could not wrap around the fact that I was having to withhold information that was absolutely positively useless in what my life was going to look like in the future. Chemistry, math, I get history, right? In, writing, that's good stuff. But a lot of, chemistry, physics, geometry, all that stuff, guys, I just could not do it. And some of you guys watching this, maybe you feel the same way, but nonetheless, that's what was pretty much my life in high school. So junior year, I was so far behind. I got to the point where I literally just couldn't even do basketball anymore, because you had to maintain like a 2.5 in my class. You had to maintain a C's. I couldn't even maintain C's. So basically I went up to my mom and said, hey, look, I got to get out of here because I need to finish online. There's no way I'm going to finish school because I'm just going to drown. I can't even I just can't, my brain cannot wrap my head around this stuff. And so I ended up finishing online, thank God, where I was able to do one course at a time and finish school on time. Thank God. So right, and so I'm gonna keep moving forward here, get to the good stuff. But anyway, I did try the college deal for 2 semesters, because going out of high school, all of my friends were like, well, you gotta go to college, And at this time, if you didn't decide on going to college, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, you were kind of looked at as like, man, what the hell are you gonna do with your life? Like, if you're not gonna go to college, the highest chances you are of being successful in your life is going to college and getting your degree, and then using that degree and doing your job and getting your salary, and doing your 401k, and then living your life till you're 65, retire, and get your Social Security. Like, this was the things that we have been sold on, and we were all taught going through elementary, middle school, and high school that it was the quote unquote American dream, right? Buy a house. all this stuff that I never really thought of that as like something that I remotely wanted to do. It just seemed like, I just didn't seem like I wanted to work for someone else for 40 years. And then not only that, like what the hell was I going to do, and I definitely couldn't go to college to achieve whatever that was, So, I basically told my mom after 2 semesters of community college, like, dude, like, I can't do it. I don't know what you want me to tell you. My mom really wanted me to go to college and get a degree because there hasn't been a Davis, my last name Davis, there hasn't been a Davis in the last 50, 60 years that has graduated college, and she thought I or my sister was going to be one of them. Actually, my sister just recently graduated college. She's the first Davis to actually graduate college, but I did not do it. And she told me, hey, look, if you're not going to do this college deal, you need to get out there and start hustling, start working. My mom and my dad are big in the real estate game. They were telling me to get my real estate license way back when I was 18, at the time when I stopped going to community college. And I just basically said, yeah, whatever, At the time, I was like, man, I just got done with school. I'm not going to get into school again, the real estate school. I mean, that's a whole other, it's pretty hard to get your real estate license, as I've talked about earlier in my channel. So I ended up not getting my real estate license at the time. At that time, I basically just got to work, guys. I worked all kinds of jobs, academy, mama foods, Asian foods, pizzas, pizza delivery places. I worked for delivering parts in the middle of the night. I worked for landscaping companies. I did my own little landscaping deal when I was about 17, 18, where I packed up my lawnmower and I basically just went kind of on Nextdoor and on Facebook, got a couple yards to cut. I did my little self-employed deal, but then I was like, man, this is kind of too much for me. I went back to work in retail, bouncing around this, bouncing around that. Then I figured out valet, which was parking cars. And valet, when I discovered valet when I was like 19 or 20, I was still living at home. And I was like, man, this is actually a pretty good gig for me. My mom's fortunately allowing me to live at home. And I did this valet deal, and honestly, valet downtown Austin, working at the really, really high class restaurants, sometimes you make like $200-300 a night. And so that was actually pretty good money for me. But, I kind of figured out as my friends were graduating college at that 22 age range, because I was doing valet from 20 to 22, pretty much. I'm 26. Most of my friends were graduating college, and I was just like, well, shit, most of my friends are graduating college. I'm still doing this valet deal, and at the time, I guess I thought I cared what a lot of people think of me. And I guess to some degree, even though most people say that they don't, some degree they deep down do, whether that's your friends, your family, other people, girls, your church. It's kind of hard to get away from that thought that, man, I'm working valet and my friends are kind of graduating college. So, those thoughts went through my mind, and I was like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. And one of the turning points in my life was I was 22, almost 23, and my friend introduced me to a network marketing company. And I know what people think, like the whole stigma behind network marketing, MLM, pyramid scheme, all that thoughts that run through your mind when you think of big companies like Amway, Mary Kay, iMarkets Live, Geneva, skincare companies, all that bull crap, right? But at the end of the day, that aside, the whole recruiting aspect, what I learned from that, I basically got exposed to a different level of thinking. They're trying to recruit people. Yeah, they're trying to sell their products, but it was also a huge shift in my whole aspect of how things really worked in the world. I got exposed to people like Robert Kiyosaki through network marketing, and all of those people that shared a similar mindset of just like wanting to work for themselves and wanting to be an entrepreneur. I learned about Robert Kiyosaki, the guy who wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. How he basically talks about the rich don't work for money, right? And how you need to have money work for you and not work for money, right? And so how the rich don't pay taxes because they don't have an income, right? And so all of these different books that I basically dove into, Grant Cardone, Sell or Be Sold, 10X Rule, Gail Carnegie, so many different mindsets that I wasn't really exposed to. And I guess I have to give a lot of credit to them, because even though, you know, my experience as far as doing well in network marketing wasn't good, the network marketing company I was a part of really helped shift my mind from being, what the hell am I gonna do, not knowing what I'm gonna be as an employee, to, hey, I can actually do something as a business owner and actually go out there and be self-motivated, self-driven, and actually go out there and make something of myself. So at its bottom level, really, the network marketing company really helped me just kind of shift my mindset. And I have a feeling if I never went through that whole network marketing phase that I was a part of for about a year, I don't know. I don't really know what, if I would be here or not. I'm not going to give them all the credit, because there was some things that didn't turn out right, but that group of people really exposed me to a lot of different ideas and different books and different ways of thinking, and, you know, not blaming society, and really putting your life in your own hands. And like, it really gave you a tremendous amount of self-belief that you can really go out there and accomplish something. And so I have to give them a lot of credit. So, you know, obviously the network marketing thing didn't work out, but I left network marketing with a new mindset, definitely a new me, and just like saying, all right, well, instead of trying to figure out who I can work for or who will hire me, I was thinking, hey, what can I do? What kind of value can I bring to the marketplace that I can exchange for some actual dollars, right? And so that was kind of what I was doing. And so after network marketing, I got back into valet at night, and working for a landscape company during the day, because I was like, all right, look, I'm gonna figure out my entrepreneurship deal right now. I just need to work my ass off, get some money going into my life, and give me some time to think about what I need to do, right? So by the time I was 24, I said, hey, I don't want to be a valet anymore. I don't want to be working landscaping anymore. All my friends are graduating college. All my friends are, you know, doing actually things with their life, right? And I understand I need to stop. In the grand scheme of things, you got to stop thinking what people care about. You got to stop thinking about how people, you know, think about you, right? But I said, hey, look, I need to get myself in a position where I can make a lot of money, get myself in an opportunity where I can make a lot of money, and really not have any school, any degree to show, like, I don't need a degree to do this, right? And immediately what I thought of, I was actually scrolling on YouTube and I found it, selling cars. I came across a guy on YouTube named Andy Elliott. He's a car sales trainer. And he kind of opened my eye to a lot of stuff, and I knew I wanted to get into sales. And guys, I cannot stress enough, if you are listening and, you know, you don't know about the pressure washing thing, you don't know what you want to do, maybe you're just thinking about getting started in entrepreneurship, you want to learn about sales, selling cars is a very, very, very great thing that you can get into that requires no degree. Any dealership will hire you. At this point right now, because of the used market, how escalated the prices are, and how cars are going for above sticker. I mean, car salesmen are making as much as they've ever have been, because of how inflated the car prices are, and dealerships are stealing deals. I mean, stealing cars. I mean, they're selling them for way over what they're worth, and they're selling for more than MSRP. So salesmen are just making good front end gross commission. That aside, guys, I was put in an opportunity where I can learn a lot, and I can make good money. And, you know, it was a done for you system. You know, you just sell to people that walk in, you sell your appointments, you make your phone calls. And I learned a lot about people skills, how to talk to people, how to, you know, negotiate with someone, how to sit in front person to person and, you know, talk to them about, you know, why buying a car is a good decision for them, and then talk numbers. And I just learned a lot. I learned about how to work I can't talk right now, guys. I learned how to work pretty freaking efficiently, and I don't know, I felt like even though it's just, you know, selling cars, I felt like it was like a grown-up job. I mean, there's guys selling cars making like 100 grand a year, 200 grand a year, 300 grand a year selling cars. They don't get that mistaken. There's guys here in Austin at the Audi dealership, at the Maxwell Ford dealership, literally selling 30, 40 cars a month. I mean, guys can really kill it in cars, right? So I was working for the Volkswagen dealership probably about a year, and I was making good money, guys. I mean, I was probably doing 8 to 10 grand a month selling cars, blowing a lot of it. You know, at the time before I got into cars, I was driving a beat up old truck, and I was able to get myself a nice new Volkswagen GLI Sport. It was pure gray with a manual transmission. It was really, really nice. I was making really good money. I was really good at what I was doing, talking to people and talking, building relationships really came natural to me. So I found it really, really fun to take that fresh up. I walk in the door and just, build a friendship, build a friend, make a connection, and ultimately sell them a car. And so I was doing anywhere from 15 to, my best month was 24 and a half cars, right? So it was a lot of fun. So what ended up happening was, after a year of selling cars, now I'm like 25, right? Or I was probably 24 and a half, guys, forgive me. I think I started selling cars when I was 23 and a half. I sold cars till I was 24 and a half. I'm 26. Somewhere about 4 to 5 months before I quit selling cars, it was probably 6 to 7 months in my tenure with selling cars, I came across a video on YouTube from Forever Self-Employed. Everyone's seen his videos. I mean, what the hell, right? So this was like 3 years ago, before he's like really, really big now. He did a driveway in 1 hour for $300. And I was like, what in the, like, he did a driveway in 1 hour. And if you guys are familiar with car sales, sometimes you'll sit in the dealership all day and not sell a car. But if you do sell a car, you'll probably make $200 or $300, or you can make anywhere from $500 to $1,000. But the minimum's like $300. So, that got to be a problem with the dealership, because I would be there all day and just spends all my day there, all week there, all month there. I mean, you were working 70 hours a week. So my weeks, my time, pretty much my life revolved around Sundays. Thursday was my off day, but more often than not, a client would call. They say, Austin, I need you to come in on Thursday. So my life revolved around Sundays, and I felt like I was making all this money, but like I couldn't live my life. I was going to the bar after work, spend a little bit there. I had my dog, Bella. Now I got Bella and Mia. Anyway, and so I just felt like I was wasting all this time at my job, and I just can't operate that way. I got to be in control of my life. And so it was then where I was like, man, I'm gonna start a side hustle. So I went to Home Depot that weekend, I believe, and I got myself a pressure washer. It was a $350 pressure washer. It was a 2.7 gallon a minute. I got my high pressure hose, and I started watching a bunch of videos, a lot of videos, guys. My main videos that I was watching was Joe Deary, Powerful Improvements. I watched a lot of Aaron's Lean and Mean Academy. They were probably the two sole people I was watching a lot of. But the main guy I was watching was Joe Deary. Joe Deary, if you are watching this video, everyone that's watching this video right now has heard of this man, Joe Deary. He is the most honest, caring, dude doesn't want to sell you on nothing. He documents his stuff, and it's like exactly what everyone wants to see. It's not, here's this whiteboard, here's this YouTube short, here's this reasons why you need to do this. It is me at the job, and it is how you do the job. And that is exactly what I needed to see, right? How to do this stuff. So Joe Deary, if you're watching this, I owe a lot to you. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. So I just started religiously watching videos, guys. And that's what I tell a lot of people, guys. I mean, you have got to become an expert in what you're doing. You need to become a student to the game. You need to be taking notes. You need to be, if you're driving to the grocery store, you're driving to the movies, you're driving to your girlfriend's house, you're driving anywhere, the gym, to work, your day job, your baby mama's house. You need to be watching videos on what you want to do in life. Doesn't matter if it's pressure washing videos, how to invest in real estate, how to do this and that. Bottom line is, you need to, on your spare time, be sucking in and being a sponge to information about how you want to get to where you are, or how you want to get to where you want to be in life. So for me, it was, I want to figure out how to do this pressure washing thing. I don't want to go all in. I want to get to a point where I can work for myself. That way no one can tell me when to sleep, when to wake up, when to go to the bathroom, when to go to lunch, when I can take a vacation. I mean, the crazy part is, guys, 75% of America is told when they can go on vacation. When they can take their family on vacation, guys. I mean, I just don't, I can't get on board with that, and I understand that we need a lot of these people that are doing these jobs. Like they are true, that they love their jobs, and we need these people to run our country and stuff. You know, we need the people that are at the restaurants. We need the people that are at the city buildings. We need the people that are out doing the city maintenance and stuff. I mean, these are people that, you know, all the power to them. But me personally, I just could not live that life. And so I basically, just to get back on the story, I was doing this pressure washing thing on the weekends or on Sundays pretty much for, what is it, like probably anywhere from 6 to 12 Sundays in a row, 3 months, while I was working cars during the week. It wasn't till September or October of 2019, a few months before COVID, that I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go all in. I can't do this car selling thing. And so got out of the car business, and I literally immediately went to full-blown power washing. All my life came about power washing. I didn't have any other side hustle. I basically told myself I'm gonna live or die by this pressure washing thing. I just can't do this working for someone else and spending my whole life. I gotta have my freedom. I gotta be able to live my life and be able to, you know, be in control of my income, be in control of my time, be in control of my destiny, all that good stuff. Which is probably wasn't the right move at that particular time. And this is what I'll tell people going forward is, you know, you don't want to put yourself or your family, more importantly, in financial jeopardy by leaving your secure job to take the risk on pursuing a business. I know some of you all might disagree with that. Some of you guys are like some hardcore Grant Cardone guys that are like, no, go after what you want. Yeah, no. For me, it's just me and my dog. It's not that hard to take care of one person. But when you have a family of 3 or 4 kids, when you go home, those kids are looking at you like, hey, you know, you're my dad. I need you to put food in my mouth. I need you to take care of, you know, the bills. It's a little bit different story. But I would not properly advise someone to, go full on to something, and at least you must have 2 or 3 months set aside. I did not have that. I mean, I probably started this pressure washing thing. I probably started this pressure washing deal probably $3,000 in my bank account. Like I said, I wasn't that good at saving money when I was at the dealership, even though I didn't have the time to spend the money. I don't know what the hell I spent the money on. What the hell did I spend the money on? Girlfriend, food, beer, drinks, bullshit for the car, dirt bikes, bullshit. So yeah, I went all in, guys. It was a struggle. I didn't film the first year of my power washing deal. Like I said, I'm 3 years into it. I didn't film the first year. And that first year consisted of me pulling around a 2.7 gallon per minute and my garden hose, flinging it in the back of my truck because I got rid of my Volkswagen. I went back to my dad's truck because I got rid of the Volkswagen. Went back to my dad's truck and yeah, guys, I was just straight up, you know, I'm gonna live or die by this thing. And I remember my first house wash I got. It was through a realtor because my mom and dad were in real estate, and they were saying, hey, look, Austin, go reach out to realtors. And that's what I did. I reached out to a lot of realtors. And like how I've talked about on Google, typing on realtor.com, going on all the agents and, you know, going through all that. And I ended up booking my first house wash. And that realtor's name is Erica, and who's still one of my go-to people who has referred me on so many jobs in the last 3 years, who's really contributed to where I'm at. My first house wash, it was a 2-story house, and I did a driveway cleaning. It was probably like 2,800 square foot. Barely had any idea what I was doing. I just knew I was super excited to go out there and start my whole pressure washing business, right? This was after I did my grandma's, my family's driveways, and I practiced on the house and the patio. I thought I knew exactly what I was doing. Guys, this is a 2,800 square foot vinyl house with a normal ass driveway concrete. It took me 2 days. And there was a point in that job where I was 2 hours in and I didn't know what I was doing. And so I went back to my truck hopped on YouTube, probably watched a little bit of Joe Deary videos and typed in, how do I do this? How do I do this? And I go back to the pressure washer and I figure out the percentages. And then when it's not, I'm spraying it and it's not working, I go back to my truck and I'm hopping on YouTube and I'm trying to figure out how to do it. Like, this is how I started in the pressure washing business, guys. I knew nothing. Even though I was watching a lot of videos, I guess I was just scared to mess with bleach. I mean, I had that extended pole that's like, 10 foot long with the little high pressure thing at the top. Some of you guys have seen it, that like no one uses. I was downstreaming. I was so afraid of bleach. I'll get to the rest of the good stuff, guys, but real quick, I had a 5-gallon bucket. I was so afraid to put bleach in my house. I literally put 1 gallon of bleach in a 5-gallon bucket, filled the rest of the bucket up with water, then downstreamed from that bucket through an extended pole and was like all over the top of the house. I was like, why isn't it coming clean? I was freaking out. And the customers in there like, when are you gonna get done? When are you gonna get done? And guys, it was just, and I was under a different name too. I was under the name of Awesome Wash Pressure Washing. Pretty dumb name I came up with way back when, right? So anyway, I ended up getting a ladder, and I was motivated to use a pump up sprayer on YouTube. I put 50-50 bleach in it. I said, screw it, I'm gonna go up there on the ladder. And I was just pump spraying the whole upper stuff, like absolutely using as much of the pump up sprayer as I could. And I ended up, it all came clean and it came good. And I had my little disc surface cleaner. And that was my first job. It was a $735 job. It took me 2 days, and I don't think I've ever been as wiped from a job like ever. Like, I was wiped. 100-degree weather in the way back then. So first year was pretty sucked, dude. I went through 3 different website guys trying to figure out how to get my stuff going. That next winter, actually that summer, right? I started in September, November. Through that winter, it was decently okay because I had a little bit of money saved up and I had really, really cheap rent. But in that summer, it came through, and I was actually doing pretty good because I was hustling a lot. I was taking care of myself. Doing some Facebook ad stuff, still had at that point I had a 4-gallon, I upgraded to a 4-gallon per minute. I had thrown that in the back of my truck. And if you guys have watched my early videos, you might've seen me post some pictures of my setup. I'm not sure if I can find it. If I will, I put it in here. But if you watch my early setups, I posted some pictures of my setup. I had a 4-gallon per minute, my hose, my garden hose, and my little Northern Tool soft wash system I had in the back of my truck. That's how we would rock the whole time. But that winter, when it came to that winter, guys, like I said, that whole summer, I was a purely hustle business. I had just changed my name to United Exterior Cleaning in the summer. I only was with Awesome Wash Pressure Washing name for like 3 or 4 months. I realized it was stupid. But in the winter, I only had like 8 reviews on Google. And since I didn't really have a formidable website or a formidable website company behind my back, guys, I couldn't even get through the winter. Like, there was no business. I was not formidable on Google. There was nothing. The only thing that was getting me jobs through the summer was my hustle. And because of the hustle in the winter, it was really, really cold. Not much I can do with asking someone to wash their house. They just didn't want to do it. And I didn't have any commercial people calling me because, I wasn't on Google. Or, I was, but I was like 20, 30 down the ranks. And man, one of the most humbling times was 2 years ago. It was my mom and dad's birthday in early March, late February, and it was their birthday, 5th and 6th, and it got to a point where I was so broke, had literally no money, and all I could think about was the summer so I can get back out there and start washing again. And I had to tell my mom and dad, I was like, look, it's your birthday. My sister wants to go out to some expensive dinner, and I just I can't afford to get you guys anything. I literally just paid for my rent. I got my wash expenses, my business expenses, and I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to take a rain check on this one. It was the most humbling thing I've had to do in a long time. And I actually spent most of that day crying and very, very upset that, here I was a 24, 25-year-old dude, and I couldn't even afford to barely put a roof over my head, and I couldn't even afford to get my mom and dad gifts on their birthday. So that was very rough for me. And I think when you're trying to do this thing, trying to work for yourself and trying to get your own business going, I don't know if it's good, but definitely having some experiences like that, at the time it happens, it's very kind of detrimental and kind of really sucks. But I can respect when people come from that point in their life, because man, it will light a tremendous fire underneath you when your back's against the wall and you have no other option, no one to bail you out, no one to save your ass. You just need to go out there and literally start kicking ass, dude. So the next 2 months I ended up getting my my online presence secured by Griggs, who's my online guy now. If you guys want to reach out to him, he'll be one of the links in the description. He literally changed my whole business, got me on front of Google. He changed my whole website, got all my SEO and stuff. Guys, I have no idea how all that SEO and how to really do all that programming and stuff, but him and his team did all that for me. And it really did get me in a position where I'm right in front of Google. I mean, if you are anywhere in Austin, Texas, and I invite you to do this, if wherever you are in the country, just Google pressure washing Austin, Texas, you'll see me right there, United Exterior Cleaning. So, and that would not be where that is if it wasn't for Griggs and his team. So Griggs, if you're watching this, I very much appreciate you. It was pretty hard for you to sell me the first time. I remember the first time I got on the phone with Griggs, I was literally too broke to do this. I had just gone through 2 other guys, spending $600 a month, spending all my money tried Footbridge Media, I'm gonna give these guys a chance if I can just pay this monthly charge. Maybe I'll get a couple jobs from it and I'll save my ass this month. Went through all that stuff, dude. And if you're listening and you're having those issues, dude, I've been there. I know what it's like to really, really be like, where the fuck is my next dollar gonna come from? And excuse my language, I'm just gonna talk how I talk this video. And it can be really fucking tough. And I'm not trying to sound like some oh, look at me, I'm some dude that came from nothing, because I really did have I was brought up upper middle class, but by the time I was 18, my mom, she's a business entrepreneur, so is my dad. Hey Austin, we're not going to cover your ass, you better go out there and make something of yourself, and we'll be here to coach you, maybe give you some advice, but we're not going to do this for you. Go out there and figure it out. Anyway, he got me on front of Google. I started learning a lot. I started hustling a lot. I started getting, not really door knocking too much, but I was really out there, really trying to promote my business, talking to everybody, realtors. I really slammed home realtors. Now I got a point where I got 10, 15 realtors that call me every single month to do stuff. Got my website and my Google presence is up there. Worked my way through better and better equipment. Eventually I was able to buy a 2002 Chevy 2500 HD, which is my current truck right now. I went through a whole build your own platform on that, where I pretty much copied Joe Deary's platform on his truck, and had my reels on there, and it was so nice. And I felt like a business owner, guys. I had my pressure washer, and it felt so good to finally have hose reels and not be slinging around hoses everywhere. And I had a really nice 4 gallon per minute, like the belt drive, the red Honda GX690 with the general pump, and it was sick. I didn't have that AAA, bull crap anymore that was blowing up on me, and I was breaking stuff, And so then what ended up happening was, 7 to 9 months of having that set up, and that is pretty much what I started my channel on, which you guys are obviously watching. But when I started this channel is when I first got my new truck, which is the truck I have now, the 2002 Chevy 2500. So if you scroll back to my early videos, my first couple videos, you can see my new rig setup. And that was when I first bought that truck. It's when I first got that new skid built and the Gen 2 soft wash system and all that. So that was like a year ago. A year and a half ago, I think. was it? Yeah, almost a year and a half ago. And before that, I was already been doing this for a year, right? So I wish I did videos before, that way I could really show you guys the struggles. It would have been great to look back on, but yeah, guys, that whole last year on YouTube, I had some really, really good months. There was months where we were doing 13, 14, 15, 16 grand. And it was, partly because of getting my presence back online, but it was just the consistency of just eating shit. Sometimes you got to eat shit, guys. If you guys follow Gary Vee, which some of you guys might, some of you guys might not, some of you guys might like him, some of y'all might not like him, but sometimes what he talks about is, like, sometimes you have to eat shit for a portion of your life to get to, eventually get to where the fruits are going to be, right? It's not going to be all the time where you come up with an idea and then you're automatically in the money. Like, you're going to have to go through a period of learning, trials and tribulations, to really see if this is something you want to do. But you just don't come up with an idea, then all of a sudden you're right there in front of everyone on Google. Like, it's a process, and really just embrace. What I tell people too, when they're starting their business, is like, look, stop asking for all the questions and stop all the answers and everything. First of all, embrace the process and really just think about, this is going to be a 1 to 2 year process. But before you're even really, really business profitable and you have all your things in line, you got your equipment, your insurances, and your revenues are there. You got this going for you and that going for you. Like, when I say eat shit, like, I'm pulling around a pressure washer around the house and going door to door and packing out your flyers and begging people to hire you and this and that. Unless you have a lot of money sitting around in the bank, which I did not have, that was my version of eating shit. I ate shit for a year. Living in a 50-year-old duplex with my landlord who's like 85 years old on the main side, and I would walk over there, give him his rent, and walk back to my fucking place that was not even up to electrical code. That was my life for a while. And that's kind of what I had to crawl out of a little bit. And I'm not saying I'm not some hyper successful 26-year-old. Like, there's things that are going on in my life right now that I have to get through and take control of. And I would never tell someone, I would never teach someone or tell someone how to get somewhere that I have not been yet. I'm not a millionaire. I don't own multiple houses. I'm not investing in real estate. But what I have done is get from a place where I'm eating shit to a place where I have a 6-figure business. Those are things that I've done. And that's what I'm going to continue to kind of share my thoughts on with you guys. And some of you guys watching this have already surpassed me. And it's not even about who's better. Are these 4 guys better than everyone else, or am I better? Like, I'm one of you guys. I'm not, I'm a pressure washing business owner that has been through the eating shit phase, and now I'm at the top of my ranks in my city phase. So now my next phase of my life is getting from here to a point where I either have multiple trucks in different locations and a real estate business, which I'm gonna try and build as well. So, that's kind of how I got to where I am at, guys. I have a lot to learn. I learn a lot from a lot of you guys every day. Some of you guys school me in the comment section. Some of you guys are like, hey, Austin, you should probably do that. And I'm like, damn, that's probably good advice. So, I think that's one thing that kind of separates me, is I'm just not, this whole YouTube thing is not for me to come over here and stretch my ego or flaunt this, flaunt that, because I don't got nothing to flaunt, guys. I'm myself. I got my business, my 2 dogs. That's so cute. I should take a snapshot right there. Ultimately, the end goal is to inspire people, to get people from a point where, depressed, not knowing what they want to do. Maybe they just got out of college and they got drowning in student loan debt, and they're thinking, man, I need to get a job, to thinking, hey, what kind of value I can provide in the marketplace where people can actually exchange a high dollar amount for, and figuring out that idea, whether it's pressure washing, carpet cleaning, social media, or agency, or film directing, photography, and how to scale that, and how to actually get revenue for that idea, and really just focusing on getting people out from the shit eating phase to a point where they can provide for themselves and their family. So that's kind of my goal with YouTube, and then I started the YouTube channel a year ago with basically that motivation in mind. Like, at the time when I started it, I obviously wasn't formidable. And I was a beginner, but I knew there was stuff that I had learned from the selling cars that I could at least share my ideas with on YouTube. And I didn't know that some of the ideas that I've shared and my thought processes and my mindset would take off like it has done. I mean, a lot of you guys have really, really shown the love, and you followed me for as long as you guys have been following me, like, commenting, subscribing, calling me, texting me, emailing me, sending me stuff, and it's been really, really cool to sit here and watch that whole process, and watch all the love. And as far as YouTube, ideally, if I can just impact as many people as possible, get them from a point where they're in a comfortable position in their life, and inspire people, leave an impact, and leave a mark on someone, change their mindset, change their perspective. Those are all things that pretty much my goal with the YouTube channel is. I'm not here to tell you how to do something. I'm not here to sell you on something. As I've said, I have absolutely positively nothing to sell you. I'm Austin Davis. So that is pretty much in a nutshell my story, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. If y'all are sitting here 41 minutes in and still here, I very much appreciate it. And I think it's a good time where I can probably close it down for you guys. We'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out. Much love. Peace.